Hey guys, Mike Harris here again, and this is the day the Lord has made, and we're just going to rejoice and we're going to be glad in it. For if it had not been for the Lord who's on my side, I guarantee you I wouldn't be where I'm sitting here. I would be where I am right now, and I just have to give Him all the honor. I have to give Him all the glory. I have to give Him all the credit for the great things He's done for me in my life. Today, I just want to continue on this little conversation that we've been doing, talking about success and how to build success and things like that. We're just trying to share a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of experience because, if we open up our eyes, we open up our ears, and we just listen and watch. We're seeing things happen all around us that we can learn from, that we can grow from. And it's funny about church folk. Church folk want to pick and choose who they learn from and who they grow from. But if you just God doesn't care who He uses to teach you. And if we stop hollering, we won't be like God, and we won't be picky. Now God will use anybody. We won't be like God. God said, "Watch the ant." Watch them how they work. You can learn from them. So I'm just trying to do my part, just laying down a little bit of knowledge, a little understanding, in hopes that it will help somebody. Now I'm going to continue on this thing with success, and I do it off and on throughout the year, especially coming into the new year, because I know some of the things that I do, if they work for me, they can work for you. Because all that I know is from experiential knowledge. I've had people speaking into my life all my life. People have been speaking to my life, and these things that they said to me in the past are starting to come back, and they're making sense. And this is how I was able to turn my life around and start seeing some of the successes that I know belong to me. And if I can do it, you can too. I'm an internet marketer, and I just had to get just real and serious with this thing. When I got into it, I thought I had enough knowledge and understanding to really knock this thing out the park. But I found out that it was things that I was missing, and I was saying, Lord, show me something. Take my mind back. Show me because I knew there were things I had done in my past that I was successful at. And I'm just going to be right up raw with you and right straight up with you to the point. Look, where I learned to do marketing? I learned to do marketing in the street. I learned to do marketing hanging around with pimps, drug dealers, gangsters, and all that kind of stuff. Because I told you there's a bottom line. There are patterns to success. And one thing that I found out from some of these big time drug dealers, you know what? There's a lot of dope out on the street. When I was in the city, there's a lot of dope out on the street, but it was one dude in particular that I was running with, and he said, "No, Mike," he said, "Look, I want this to be my brand. I want when people see it, they'll know it come from me. When they see it, they know it's going to be good." So he started putting little initials on the bottoms of his bags, and he would bag them up real pretty. And you know what? He wouldn't step on it just a tad, where most people were stepping 2-3 times on it. He would just step a tad. And I won't always say the dope was good. It'd have us listening for bells and stuff. But anyway, when I look back at what he was doing, he was setting up a brand that when people came out there looking for this dope, they were looking for him. And if that brand was not seen, they wouldn't buy. And I got to thinking about that. And, I heard a marketer teaching. He said, you know what, you've got to, in this thing with internet marketing, you're trying to make money online, you have to set yourself ahead of the rest of the crowd. You've got to come up with something different that sets you up front of them, because they're seeing so many people out there doing the same thing. What is it that you're going to do different that's going to make you stand head and shoulder above, that's going to make them want to stop and take a look at what you're offering? And this is what I'm learning how to do. You know what? Now, past couple of years, I decided that anything that I sell online, anything that I offer, either I would have used it, either I would have researched it, either I would have talked to somebody about it. And then when I'm building things, I realized the other thing he told me was you have to own a thing. So I started learning how to own some of these products that I'm putting out there, and step by step, inch by inch, because success is built in layers. Look, guys, think about it. You didn't learn how to walk, just jump up and take off. And some of us did, and we wobbled around. But look at the process. This step, the next step, it keeps building. And it happens almost automatic. You watch a baby learn how to walk. They're walking so unsteady, and all of a sudden, You watch them step by step, not just jump up and they steady, step by step. They're learning to balance. See, there has to be a balance in your life. There has to be a balance. You almost have to become, as Earth, Wind, and Fire, you say, one with the universe. You have to become one with your environment as you're learning to build success. You're learning, even a child when they're walking, they learn that some floors are slick. They learn how to walk on carpet. It's step by step. And as they're stepping, they're taking in all of the things that are going on around them until they go across that bad boy sure-footed. Success is the same way. Success is built through experiential knowledge, and through that experiential knowledge of things that you've been through before, you learn how to build your success. I've always known how to make money. My mom, I didn't realize it all. I always worked on my dad's house, whatever it needed, put on a roof, fix a chimney, do concrete, whatever. One day my mom looked at me and she said, Mike, you sitting there crying about money. Take what you already know and go out there and do it, son. I said, well, Mama, I don't have money to do all that advertising and stuff. She said, look at them clothes you got on. All that paint all over that shirt. She said, go into places and just wear that. You know what? For years, I never spent anything on advertising because the funniest thing about it was, see, you got to learn from everybody that's talking to you. You got to be able to hear what they're saying. And sometimes you don't even have to believe it's true, but if it makes sense, you step to it and you do it. I started going up in Lowe's and people come up to me, I guess you're a painter, aren't you? I look there and I say, yeah, I guess I am. That's how I got started in the rental business. Not spending money, just using what I already have, what I know, and letting it build. And the more I learned, then when I did start advertising, I learned how to do the right things. My tax business, same thing. First year, it was like a madhouse, but I learned from that. And step by step, it got better. Step by step, it got stronger. Now in my internet marketing, it's getting better day by day. And you know what? Again, I tell you, I don't build my success off what other people think about me, what they say about me, because what you got to understand is if 99% of the people actually know you, they'd rather buy from a liar and a cheater because there's a thing in mentality that they want to try to hold you back. But see, the thing about entrepreneurs, look, guys, if you're an entrepreneur, God bless you, because the entrepreneurial spirit says, I can handle the risk. It says, I can step out there because God gave me this idea, and I can't sleep because the idea is in the recesses of my mind. I can't sleep because I see myself doing this thing. And when you do that and you don't listen to all the noise, it's always going to be doubt. Amen. Always doubt. Somebody always going to be doubting you. But if you believe in yourself, and if you start doing those things, experiential knowledge to build your success, you are going to be successful. Don't let anybody define it. Success is established by you and your creator. And when you can lay down at night and rest that you've done the best that you can, you've given the 110%. Maybe it didn't make no money. That's not a problem. See, people got to realize it's not always about making the money. It is going through the process of you achieving what you know you can. Well, look, I'm going to keep on working on this thing, guys. I'm talking about me. This is what I go through the first of the year because I want 2016 to be different than 2015. And what I have to do, I go back and review. I use all the experience I've gained in 2015 to make sure that I don't make the same mistakes in 2016. And the other thing about me is I'm looking for people to bring right on along with me. You see, I know that if my success only affects me, it's a partial success. True success reaches out and it blesses others. All right, look, guys, God bless you. And keep listening in. And we're going to be a success in 2016. God bless.